So today we are here talking with Sunny, and Sunny is one of our new coaches, one of the new coaches to join us at Connect Coach. So welcome, Sunny.
Thank you, Liz.
Sunny, in one sentence, just tell us what your speciality is in coaching.
Well, Liz, I help adults navigate divorce with grace and rebuild their lives with greater purpose and meaning.
I love that. Navigate divorce with grace. And it's certainly both experienced and know a lot of people that have experienced divorce, and that's a real challenge for them. So what led you to become a coach and actually specialize in divorce and life purpose coaching?
Well, so about 5 years ago, if you talked to me, I was a very unhappy attorney in a very high conflict marriage. And our life looked gorgeous from the outside. It was that perfect life on paper that at least I had envisioned growing up. And actually, it exceeded my wildest dreams. My husband was a very successful attorney. We had this over-the-top lifestyle, everything that I wanted when I read about People in People magazine. And it just looked very glamorous and exciting. And I had a unique opportunity to have all of that. And yet I felt so empty on the inside. It was kind of like my soul was dying. I wouldn't have been able to articulate it like that at the time, but I think that's what was happening. And then I found the work of Dr. Martha Beck. And for those of your listeners out there, if you don't know Martha, she was a Harvard academic, a sociologist turned life coach. And I found her writing, and I finally had words for what I had been experiencing. I was in the wrong life, even though it looked so good on the outside. So I followed her for several years, ended up enrolling in her life coach training program, and now I'm in her master coach training program. And my joy is in helping other people basically follow their inner compass over culture. And what I ended up doing, how that looked for me, was I ended up leaving my marriage, although I will tell you now that we actually get along better than we did while we were married, which is part of why I enjoy divorce coaching, is because that is possible. It doesn't have to be devastating. And I also walked away from the practice of law for good, at least for now, because coaching is what I find the most joy in doing. I finally connected with something that really fits. So I help other people navigate and find grace and healing and transformation in these huge life changes, which for me were both personal and professional. And part of following that greater life purpose can mean leaving a marriage, so I can help support people with that, and then finding what they really came here to do.
Wow, that's incredible. So it really is. It's an all-round experience that people get for you. So. Who would, it might sound a strange question, but actually who would benefit from working with you, and what would they get out of working with you?
Well, I would say anyone who is considering divorce, or maybe you haven't even really been able to go there yet. What I have found is that when we start doing this very deep personal work, there are possibilities for reconciliation that you just didn't even know were there. That was my experience with it. So anyone who's considering divorce, and where my legal background comes in is I can help talk about options with that and really support during the process. So anyone who's in the midst of divorce, anyone following divorce, you think that it can be, as culture tells you, a very devastating time, but what I found is that it is time for amazing rebirth and transformation. So anyone who's coming off the back end of a divorce and wants to help heal their relationship, heal their life, and really create a new life, as I mentioned before, with greater purpose and meaning.
That's fantastic. So it's actually whether you're thinking about a divorce, whether you're going through a divorce, whether you've been through a divorce, and anything around that, the ending of a relationship. And actually, it sounds like people living in an unhappy relationship. And I love the fact that you talk about reconciliation, because I think that in itself is so powerful. If there's any way of reconciling a relationship, it's to go down that path first, I think is incredibly important, rather than go, okay, let's just pull the plug. And because once upon a time you really loved that person. So
yeah,
I think that's fantastic. I think it's wonderful what you do. So What do you, so you talk to people that are in these various transitions in relationship, and then and you call on your experience as a lawyer, and you call on obviously your training as a coach. So how do you actually work with them then?
Well, one of the first steps is to just assess where you are. And I can meet you wherever you are, and help you look at options. A lot of people don't know that there is an option outside of nuclear warfare in a courtroom. There are a lot gentler options, yeah, like the collaborative law model. Not many people have even heard about that outside of the legal community, I've found. So figuring out your options and then starting that very deep personal work that makes it possible. Oftentimes, at least in my experience, all of the things that I found I blamed my ex for, when I started working on myself, I found some responsibility there. So it's helping people figure out where they are and what's possible. As you are navigating a divorce, I can talk to you about legal options. While I don't practice law in that area, and I'm like I said, that's not something that I care to do anymore. I can at least help you with options. And also I found that it's incredibly important to help people during the process to really get foundational ties to their values, because that way when you're navigating the process, you don't get swayed by these waves of, input that are coming from friends and family and attorneys. So I help you really find your core. And from there, there's just an amazing amount of healing that can happen in transformation. So help you navigate, assess where you are, navigate the process, and then on the back end of it, amazing tools to heal the relationship. And if it doesn't mean reconciliation with your partner or spouse, that can just mean having a fabulous relationship with them. Now, I know there are two parties involved, so you have certain things you can do on your end, but as much as you can, heal what's left and move forward with ease and peace and inspiration for what the future holds. Because often, once you start this new life, all of a sudden these new possibilities are there if you're open to them, and I can help people identify those and put those plans into action and create an amazing new life, doing things that perhaps you weren't able to do because of the relationship or because of things that were going on in your life at the time. So it's threefold, really.
It sounds incredible. So give me in a nutshell, because I can imagine that this is a big question for you. What actually gives you the greatest joy when you're coaching a client?
Well, for me, it's the transformation. I have found that with coaching, what I always say is that I love my clients, and I tell my clients, I love you so much, but I don't want to see you forever. What we're going to do is give you the tools, or in other words, we're going to teach you how to fish. And when they come back and they have, a big metaphoric fish, whether that's creating their new business, getting out of a crappy relationship that was just sucking their life energy and making it impossible to follow their calling. Whatever that looks like for them, when they come back with that transformation and I see the progress and I see the excitement and the light behind their eyes at what they're doing now and what's been possible, that to me makes it all worth it.
Oh. So really it's about taking people on a transformational journey from a place of actual unhappiness to a place of, finding their life purpose and finding their calling as well.
Yeah. And having the tools again and again and again. It's just the toolkit that we have as coaches, especially, and of course, I love Martha, but it's just amazing what we can offer people that they can then take and use and teach to others,
That's wonderful. Sunny, thank you so much. I have so enjoyed talking with you today, and
Absolutely.
I would highly recommend anybody that is going through any kind of relationship challenges to really connect with you and just book a session with you, and I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz.
Bye-bye.
Bye.